What's up, guys? It's Wero. Hope everyone can hear me good. So today we got a special guest, man. We got a man that really needs no introduction. Ryu Sennin. You saw the man on the thumbnail. Let's bring him out and see what he wants to chop it up about. Ryu Sennin, what's up, big homie? How you doing,
My
man?
man, Wero, what's going on? I'm feeling great. Happy to be here.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. It's awesome to have you on. I know you and I have been talking about doing this for a hot minute. And I told you you was on the list and we'd get there for sure. And here we are.
We made it. I'm actually surprised you remember. Actually, it was a while ago, too. I feel like it was forever ago.
Well, I mean, in my defense, I have a spreadsheet.
No. Listen. I get it. I respect the plan.
Yeah,
Like I told you, I don't think I'm that interesting, but here we are.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think you are. I think you're a very, very interesting individual. You have a style about you, and it's hard to put into words, but you know what? You have a style very similar to our own Shinigami. You know what I mean? A very similar style. You're like the Black Shinigami. You know what I mean? The East Coast Black Shinigami. Yeah.
The East Coast Black Shinigami. I love it.
That picks up on social cues. You know what I mean? Because our Shinigami don't be picking up on social cues sometimes. You know? So, but we gonna leave that right there.
Gonna put that right.
Yeah. So as far as that goes, man, I think you're an extremely interesting individual. So let's jump into it though. And again, like we talked about in the back, this is a show about you. This is your show. So whatever you want to talk about, that's what we're running to. But I will prompt with a bunch of questions. I'm sure you've seen the show before. I know you said you have, so you know how it goes. Where'd you grow up, my man? Where you from? Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Jersey. Been there my whole life. I lived I don't people the West Coast guys might not know, but Newark, New Jersey is where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's the hood. It is what it is. It's the hood. I lived there probably good long bit of my life before I ended up moving to Irvington, which is still the hood, but it was less of the hood, so it was better. It was better. And that's where I've been ever since. Just living in Jersey, enjoying the nice cold weather. Everyone says they hate it here, but no one ever leaves.
Yep, I think that happens pretty much everywhere you are. Everywhere I've ever lived, everybody always hates it, but they don't go anywhere.
Exactly. Everyone wants to go to you guys where it's warmer. I swear, my parents are like, yeah, guess we get old, you're on your own, we're gonna move, sun, warm. I'm like, that dry heat, sure, but what do I know?
Bro, it is. There's a difference. I was raised in Florida, and it's a very, very wet heat there. And when I tell you the dry heat is legit, that's a real thing, man. That's a real thing. It's so much easier to live out here than it is when it's moist everywhere.
I guess I've taken some vacation to Florida. It's not pleasant weather. Not.
Nah, no, not at all. So, you're growing up. you know, your words, not mine. You growing up in the hood. And right off immediately, I think, is that where you started wanting to learn martial arts? You know what I mean? Like growing up in a place where, you know, I'm assuming it can get violent at a drop of a hat. Is that where you decided you wanted to learn martial arts, or was that later on in your life?
Ironically enough, that was much later in life. I didn't start seriously training until like my early 20s.
Okay, okay. So tell us
Uh,
about young Ryu. Tell us about it's Ryu, or is it Ryu or Ryu?
Ryu, either one's fine.
Either one. Okay.
People said how to say it. I go with the flow.
Yeah, I feel it. I get Wero and all kinds of stuff. I get it. So
But
yeah, young Ryu. Tell us about young Ryu growing up to those 20s when you started training.
young Ryu was actually just a pretty. I will say I do have some similarities to Shinigami actually, where I was a young kid. I was into the Power Rangers,
Hmm.
the martial arts movies. I loved all that stuff as a kid. I was big into gaming, and as you could, as that sets up, I was a pretty heavy set kid back then because I played video games, stayed in the house, and watched Power Rangers. So I got kind of fat. I got kind
Yeah.
of sort of a little fat, and but it never really like was that much of a hindrance to me because I learned, all right, I'm fat. They're gonna say I'm fat. I gotta learn how to be funny now. Now I gotta learn how to roast people. Now
That's
I gotta develop the skills.
yeah. That does help. Like if you go be fat, be funny for sure. Hell yeah.
I mean, because now I'm not the fat kid. I'm the funny kid. There's a difference.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I
Okay.
just got through my life being funny, making them laugh. I feel like I have this energy about me that like people tend to gravitate towards me, just like the vibes I put out. And I've always been very blessed that God gave me personality too, or aside of thoughts. But
Yeah.
that led me to being an awkward, funny teenager where I discovered girls for the first time. That was something right there.
Yeah. And again, that comedy comes into play a lot when it
It
comes
helped.
to the women. So yeah, that definitely helps.
Like
So did you discover girls a little too young? Did you make babies too soon? I'm trying to do this chronologically, but I don't
he's
know
trying
exactly
to
everything. Yeah,
trying
trying
to
to do it
order.
chronologically. Like,
Um,
do you have kids?
I have one daughter, one
Okay,
one kid.
how old is she?
She is 9, which answers the first question. Yep, baby's too early. Remember, guys, wrap it up. Ryu Sennin approved.
Yep.
You can quote me on that one.
Yep. Use condoms.
He was
I
kind
just
of
not even. It's funny. It's not even the first time that we've said those exact words on this podcast. Wear condoms. I don't know why it comes up more often than you would think it would. Um.
that's.
So okay, and you're how old?
I am 29. No, I'm 28. Wait, no, I'm 29. I'm 29. I'm 29. I will be 30 this coming October. I'm gonna hit that big 3-0 this year.
Big 3. Okay, that's a good age to be. It's a good age to be. It's you'll see. It's not bad.
Oh,
So
I'm taking your word for it.
you are, you know, you're 29. So obviously you had your daughter at 20 years old. You're gaming. You're doing your thing. You meet girls. You make a baby. I'm assuming life gets shit gets a little real. What do you do for work? What did you go to school for? How long did you go to school? Give me your
All right.
academic background.
All right, guys, I made it this far with just my high school education. I'm not going to lie to you. I should have paid attention a lot more in school. That was on me. Very first job I ever had, I worked at FedEx. I do not recommend it. They work you like a slave, no pun intended. I graduated from FedEx, became a garbage man, which was still slavery, but a lot better paying slavery. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Then after that, I said, you know what? I'm having a kid soon. I want my body to still be in decent shape so I can be around more. So I transitioned into security. Security is an easy job. Great, flexible. Unless you're stupid, you can't mess it up.
Yeah.
People
I've
still
done
mess.
security. It's not terrible. It is
Not
not
terrible.
terrible. Yeah. Um, okay. So you're doing that, and then walk us through how you decided martial arts was going to be something that you pursued and not just watched. Because I'm assuming you said you did a lot of the martial arts shows. Anime. I know you're a big anime fan,
Big
correct?
anime guy.
So I was actually KT was here training with his roommate a couple hours ago, and we are actually talking about that because I didn't realize how popular anime was. And they were trying to say it's always been that way, and I don't know if it's always been popular here in the
Nah.
States. Not like it is right now. Yeah.
No, back you got bullied back in the day. Like you got severely bullied back in the day for watching anime.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I thought.
Because
So,
to be fair, some of the kids ruined it. Because like there's the people who just watch anime and they're chill. There's the people that are like running around calling each other otakus, doing like the little run thing. Like people that took it too far, so everybody got bullied because of them.
yeah, just a few bad apples ruined it for all of you guys.
Really did.
Okay, so, yeah, what made you transition to actually getting into martial arts? When you're like, I'm going to start training. I'm going to learn how to do what I've been watching all these years.
Unironically enough, I'm also into filmmaking, and at the time, some friends and I were this guy. We decided to make a fan film of a Power Ranger fan film. It was like we're gonna do a quick thing, we're gonna record it, do effects, all that jazz. We get to the fighting scenes, and it's like, this looks like garbage. Let's go learn martial arts for like a week or two, take a free 2-week trial, take what we learned, put it in the film, and we're done. Obviously, that didn't happen. Else Ryu Sennin wouldn't be here. We go. We signed up. We did our 2-week trial. Like the first class, I'll never forget. We stepped on that floor. I wanted to vomit. Because, you think, the martial arts, the traditional stuff, you're like, oh, it's easy. It's just people doing like forms of. Nah, my first day, I wanted to vomit. And I was like, maybe I should do this for a little bit longer.
What style did you jump into first? Did you go straight to an MMA gym or karate?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo, okay.
The one that gets made fun of, like top 5 getting made fun of. Yes.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because of the way it is portrayed in the Olympics with the people who just do the little flicky kicks, that gave us a really bad name.
Gotcha.
It's pretty bad. That even other martial artists like don't really respect Taekwondo, so I'm just like, damn man, full love.
No, it does not. Taekwondo does not get a lot of love at all. Okay. So you jump into your first class. You're like, I'm going to do this more often. How long did you do it before it clicked? You're like, I actually feel like I'm going to compete sometime. And where did that take place? Did you do like point sparring?
That I was about probably my first competition probably was about 6 months in, I want to say. I think I was like a yellow belt at the time. We did a little in-house tournament. So I was like, cool, I'm going to compete. And thankfully enough, like my school is not a part of any like big major organization. So because of that, we get to make our own rules. Yeah. So like our tournaments are pretty much structured after kickboxing, where it's like, you can do leg kicks, you can, punch to the face, things like that. So it was pretty much just you guys fight for a minute 30. Whoever's got the most points at the end, you win. So I feel like that was a big help in why I don't suck too bad, right?
Yeah.
That was my first competition, but my true enjoyment didn't start till about maybe I want to say a year into it. Some guys were training. They said, "Hey, we're going to the ISKA US Open," and I'm like, "What's that?" That's like it's one of the largest, like martial arts competitions that they do in the world. Like people from all over the world fly to Orlando, Florida to compete. And I said, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go with my 1 year of training. And I went there, and I think I took second in continuous sparring. And I was like, you know what? Shit was kind of fun. I guess that first time you're scared, you have the nerves, but then you're done, and you're like, yo, kind of got the itch now. I want to do this again. Yeah. And it just kicked off from there.
Okay, so how long did you do that? How long did you do like that style of fighting in those competitions?
I still do to this day.
Oh, nice. Okay, so still do. Perfect. I'm going to throw you on a solo real quick because I see some trophies back there, but I can't tell what they're for, my man. Enlighten us. What have you won? Like, what kind of trophies and give us a rundown of those accolades.
Yeah, what have we got over here? This big one was from the American Internationals 2018 for continuous sparring. Like I said, continuous is pretty much just two guys. This is the time limit. Rack up as many points as you can. Punch it to the face is okay. Leg kicks are okay. I only really ever sign up for tournaments that have those kind of rules because that's what I like. It's more fun. I don't do stop-start stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the replica Street Beefs belt back there chilling, looking nice.
The replica Street Beats belt? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, I know how you guys do it. Where you guys have you can have the guys can buy them so they can like keep them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it is. Like like that was like it's a cool thing. So I was like, I'll keep one.
So does the OG yard, do they not have belts that guys can buy? Or do you have to kind of buy your own?
No, they got belts you can buy. They got a guy that makes them now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's dope. Yeah, and that
Pretty
is
good.
a huge trophy. Like that, absolutely, size matters. It really does.
Size doesn't matter.
100%.
Got this little boy down here who's from the Martial Arts Hall of Fame. Nice little dude kicking down there. But honestly, most of my cool stuff is unfortunately mounted, so I just don't feel like getting everything down there.
Yeah, no worries.
Very lazy.
No worries. Yep, I was just I was just curious because I know that's another thing, and I hate to keep comparing you to Shemi, but that's another thing you guys got in common. Like every time you do a live, there's just trophies behind you,
Stuff
everywhere.
back there.
Yeah, and it's really fucking cool, man. I love seeing that. So you're competing, you're running through it, you're training, you're doing your thing, you're doing some competitions. When did you hear about Street Beefs, and what made you decide to compete there? Because you're in Jersey and Street Beefs is in Virginia, so that's a little ways away.
So what happened was my buddy Hez actually sent me a video one time, and I was like, yo, these guys are scrapping out here, like, and just watching. I was like, I was interested. And this was like the height of COVID. Everything shut down. All my competitions for the season were done, and I'm like, damn, I kind of still want to do something. And then it kind of turned into I always did kind of want to have a one-off Amy fight, and we all know how much of a pain that is doing all the blood work and all that stuff done.
Absolute pain in the ass. Yep.
So I was like, you know what? People give Taekwondo shit. Let me actually see if it can be viable. If I can like figure a way to make it work. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna drive down to VA. It's like 4 hours. I'm gonna get a hotel and I'm gonna fight somebody.
And how'd that go? Yeah, walk us through that first fight and that whole thing.
That was wild. So this was the first fight. The drive down was crazy. I'm over here. I'm just because mind you, we get down there. It's like 10 o'clock at night on Friday. We get there, so I'm just like, so tense, so amped, getting ready for the night. The next day, I'm just I can't sleep. Wake up. Mind you, I'm seeing Street Beefs for the first time up close. I'm just meeting so many people. I met Face, Esteban, all these guys, and everyone was very, very welcoming. Which is because mind you, I'm a brand new guy, so I'm just walking around like, who do I talk to? Where do I go? But everybody was super helpful. I matched up with a guy. I believe his name was Grizzly King. He was I think he did 2 Amy fights prior, and like I'm just, I'm nobody. They Face asked me, what's my experience? I said, well, I did a couple of Taekwondo tournaments. He kind of gave me the look like, so you're 0-0, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 0-0. Yep, yes, sir, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
It's like I wanted to be honest, like like I've trained, just like I didn't want it to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna come and sneak in. I wanted to be like, hey, this is my experience level. No, I've never fought anybody before, but this is how much I've trained. He's like, okay. So I matched up. I'm looking at the guy. He's like 20 pounds heavier than me. Had 2 fights already. And my mind, I'm thinking on paper, like, this might not be good for me. He had a boxing and like wrestling background. And mind you, my first fight was an MMA fight.
Yeah.
And as we all know, I'm not an MMA guy.
Yeah, you have no. So at that point, you had 0 ground game.
Zero ground game, minus
ground
like
game,
just the fumbling and just like just the random bits,
Okay.
So,
real quick,
yep.
what is your weight class? Do you heavyweight?
Yeah, I'm heavyweight. Big boys.
Yep.
Big boys for life.
Solo, heavyweight. I think Solo over here sizing you up. He always looking for his next opponent, bro. I like that guy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, trying to take my life. That's crazy. What did I do? I just got here. But so we match up. We're standing across each other from the cage, and I felt, I'm over here, I'm sweating. And mind you, I decided that I got the karate pants on, the black belt, the headband. I'm just like, oh man, I'm going to the cage. I just hear Cobra Kai never dies. And I'm like, oh man, I got myself into.
Yep.
So we touch gloves. I'm standing. I'm just like, all right. I'm just like, okay.
Just stiff.
Like, stiff. Think I opened up like a nice, just a solid leg kick, and I'm like, all right, this feels normal. I'm used to this, and I just kind of started to flow from there. My buddy Has, who came down with me, he was my coach. He gave me some nice advice. He's like, "Come on." He just kept trying to make sure I kept moving. I didn't stay
Yeah.
static, and I felt pretty good. It was a good fight.
Okay. What was the outcome?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Uh, First round TKO finish via leg kick.
So you leg kicked him to TKO. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
for the culture.
For the culture, for your first fight, did he even try to take you down?
There was some clinch work on the cage, but it didn't go for any active takedown.
Okay, you didn't, or he didn't.
He didn't. We clinched up a lot
No.
on the fence, but there was no
Yeah.
like no double leg, no nothing.
Okay. Okay. So TKO leg kick. That's phenomenal. First fight. So once that happens, you get a feel for it. Walk us through the next couple days, and how long was it before you decided to sign up again?
I'm not gonna lie, I was riding this super high. It was just like, man, talk shit about Taekwondo now, man. Got my W. Like, so I was feeling good for a couple days. Then I honestly I put the experience behind me, and I was good for a while. Like, I was like, I got it off my bucket list. I'm good.
Yeah, you
Then
did it.
what happened was I went through a lot of personal tragedies during this point in time. Like I was engaged at a time, and we had a miscarriage due to the COVID stuff and everything, and like I was kind of like in a really rocky place for like a while.
Yeah,
So I was
sorry to
kind
hear
of
that.
like I just signed up because I'm like I just got to do something to just get my mind off things. Then my very next fight was against Big Smile. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
Was it, and that was MMA as well.
MMA as well.
Okay. So
So
did you ask for kickboxing matches?
it wasn't. Honestly, I feel like until I started like actively like kind of pushing for it a little bit, it was more or less like a nobody really was looking for it at the time.
Yeah.
Like and then even now it's still slowly growing, but at the time it was boxing and MMA, boxing and MMA. Like I know for I can't box for shit, so I'm not gonna pretend and lie
Yeah.
to myself.
No, understandable. So, yeah. How did that fight go? Like when you're as far as nerves the second time around.
Uh, the second time it was odd because I wasn't there. I didn't like I wasn't there was no excitement. I just was like I'm just here. There was no real like man like the heat of battle. I just was so messed up at that time. It was just like I just was just there.
Yeah.
And like and like take nothing away from Big Smile because like regardless I like Big Smile's a fucking killer. Like this man killing now, but he just
He is. Yeah.
I think I just remember like blinked and there was a double and I'm like holy shit, this motherfucker's fast. Like
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. Daniel's right because I remember we waited around for like probably 10 hours for that fight, and it was like
Yeah.
pitch dark probably when we
It was at
fought.
night. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
night
watching
fight. It was he just double leg. He think he had me in half guard, and he was just throwing down punches. Again, like I said, I was covering well. I was fine, but TKO just and I was like, nope, you guys stop the fine. That's my thing. When people be like, oh, they try to fight the TKO, I'm like, no, that's fine.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I can't get mad at people. There was a couple people that were upset about stops at the OG invasion that we did, and I'm like, it is what it is. Like, if you don't want them to stop it, don't get in that position.
Pretty much, I'm
Like,
like, could I
what are
get
you
up? Could I
gonna
realistically get up? I was like, no, I
do?
was pretty fucked. He was hamming against the cage. It was all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Happens.
at this point, okay, in your street beefs career, your second fight, you fight Big Smile, you start to become a name right here. People start to recognize you with the gear, with the karate pants and everything like that. How um sorry, KT just asked a funny question. I'll explain this in a minute. But how long was it before you started getting quite a bit of recognition and you could start choosing your matchups?
Um, I don't think I've ever actually chosen any of my matchups. Honestly,
No? Okay.
no.
Okay.
People just say I want to either I match up, or people just go I want to fight this guy, and I go okay.
Okay.
Like it was odd. There was this misconception that I was like afraid to fight people or something, and I'm just like anyone who's ever said they want to fight me, I always just been like, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
let's run it.
I mean, I fought Beast. Who is like, you don't get scared of fighting Beast. I mean, come on.
Is very scared to fight beasts. Walk us through that one. Like I know a lot. I definitely want to hear about that one.
Okay,
How that went.
so this is actually after the Keanu fight. I'm trying to just get kickboxing just to be like trying to get people to watch kickboxing. I'm trying to get more people to sign up for it. And they said, "You want to fight Beast?" And like, mind you, I know who Beast is. Everyone knew who Beast was at the time, and I was like, "Okay, if that will generate interest, sure, I'll fight him." Like, I didn't expect to win the fight, but I said I will fight him, and because I know Beast has a hard time finding opponent. So I said, "Yeah, I take the
Legit,
fight,"
absolutely.
and people were like constantly, "Yo, you sure? Are you still coming? Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'll be there. Yep, not a problem." Hey, and then there was such this big thing like I guess his opponents back out a lot, or I'm not sure, but they were just
Hmm.
like, "Are you sure you're coming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Showed up. People were like, "Who you fighting?" I'm like, "Beast." Everyone goes, "Ooh."
Bro, it's like how do you maintain confidence in the face of something like that? How do you still go out there and confidently go, I'm gonna win this match when everybody's like, oh, that's rough. You know what I mean?
It starts the transition from put I'm going to win this fight to I'm going to survive this fight and like just do everything I can to not die. To me, my personal victory was making it to the decision. Like, like
Yeah.
I made it the full 3 rounds. Not many people
Yeah.
can say that, and I feel good
No.
about that.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, solo, that's your answer. It definitely went all the way. Um, and I have a question from Daniel, and right here, I don't know what that YouTube name is. Triple X. Serious question: Does Ryu have any sanctioned kickboxing bouts? If so, how many?
I do not. I suck. I'm telling you guys, I'm not that good. No kickboxing bouts. There was a point where I there are options for. I will say that there are options for me to pursue if I wanted to. If I truly wanted to do it, there are. I have revenues to do so.
Okay. Is
Like
do you
I'm
know?
just please.
Daniel's wondering how nervous were you fighting Beast? Like, especially,
Uh,
were you getting more and more nervous as people come up to you and were like, "Oh fuck, that's a rough fight." You know what I mean?
so here was my mindset for it at the time. Like okay, because mind you, it was like okay, I know he can box, but I didn't know if he could kick yet, right? So I'm like, and my mind was going, all right, he can box. I know he has great hands. If I stay at a distance, I could probably survive this. Then like all for he, I forgot what point in the fight he just like does this beautiful jump round kick, and I was like, huh, this might be a problem.
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
that point, my brain didn't think it was no. I didn't even care. It was just now. I need to survive. Like I'm surviving. Like nothing else was in my mind set. Like it was just all muscle memory. Like anything that happened during that fight, I could not tell you. It was all muscle.
Yeah. And that's,
But
I mean, that's awesome. That's what we train to do is to make everything muscle memory. Yeah. Because sometimes you get in that situation where you're just like, "Fuck, what do I do?" You know. Is Beast still active, or you know if he's retired? I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's still
I've
active.
heard
It's just
both.
no one wants to fight him. No one wants to fight him.
Yeah, I have. I don't even. Not even. Would you fight him again?
No. Yeah.
Bro,
When
I'm
I
not mad at that at all.
when I tell you, I think fighting Beast was the only time I ever stayed more than 1 day in VA because I needed that extra day to just kind of like, yo, my legs were not well. Like that's the only time I ever took an extra day after a street Beast fight.
Yeah. Are you the fan of the '90s TV series ROC?
Oh, see.
Rock? I don't know. Never heard of it.
Fortunately, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, so you are you're going through how many fights do you have total with Street Beefs?
Uh, give me a second to count this stuff. Hold on.
Yeah. Are we looking 10, 12, something like that?
I think probably 10 at least. Probably if not 9 or 10. 9 or 10.
Okay. And what's the length of time? How long have you been fighting with Street Beefs? It's been like year and a half, 2 years, something like
Probably a
that.
year and a half, 2 years max.
Yeah. Okay. That's a solid resume. Um, where are you going from here? Like, what's the goal as far as we'll jump back to Street Beefs in a minute. As
Right.
far as you coming out here, and we'll talk about the OG invasion in a minute. But really quick, where are you going from here as far as your martial arts career? I know you're an instructor, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so where are you going from here? What are you doing? What's coming up?
Well, I'm definitely I've transitioned a lot more into the teaching now, to the instructing, which is actually
Mm-hmm.
why I haven't been as active in Street Thieves and why I stopped fighting as regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more so now getting the younger guys ready to start with the tournaments, start taking them around through the circuit of trying to like have those experiences I did a lot earlier. So then, if any of those guys want to pursue fighting, I I can help them get to where they want to go. Like my real main purpose of fighting as shooters, besides we were locked down, was that I wanted to be able to coach people if they needed it.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. And you work at a gym coaching?
It's a traditional martial arts school. I'm gonna say this, and people in there, they're not gonna believe me, but I've never had any MMA nor traditional boxing like coaching experience, like nothing.
So it's all
I
been Taekwondo?
It's all Taekwondo traditional stuff.
Okay.
So to everyone who says us pajama people suck, what's up? What's up?
Well, I think we're putting the pajama people against each other here in a month and a half. So for everybody who doesn't know, Ryu is coming out in March. So in Arizona, the Hot Box is having the Street Beast West Coast event, and everybody's going to be out here in March, and everybody will. There's quite a few cross branch matches. Ryu's coming out. Face is grabbing a group of people coming out. We got a couple guys from Scrapyard coming out. Viking Warrior. I think Jay Gotham might be on the list. So yeah, we have a solid little cross branch. I had a couple people from Dirty South coming, but I don't know if they are still coming or not. But it's going to be almost every branch should be represented here in March. So, and you are fighting Shinigami, but you guys are doing, break down what you're doing, because I know there's a specific rule set to what you're doing, and I'm legitimately very excited for that.
It's very similar to, if you ever heard of the karate combat, it's very similar. We wanted to try to put it where we're both on equal footing. So MMA gloves. Sorry, the 6 ounce karate s gloves. You ever see the karate combat? How they have the little
Yeah. Yep.
six? We're gonna use those. Knees are fine. Leg kicks are still fine. All that stuff's still fine. But now you can still clinch grapple. You can still do throws and sweeps. And you get about, I want to say, a solid 5 to 10 seconds of ground and pound on the ground before you get step back up. So it's equal parts striking. There's the equal parts grappling. And you get like that little bit of ground and pound in there too. So it's still, you got to be on your toes. You can't just fall and be like, all right, I'm good.
And
Like there's
stay
still
there.
a danger to being down there.
Yeah. Okay. But that, I mean, like I said, when Shinny first told me that you guys were doing that, I was really, really excited about that. That sounds super cool. Elbows and to the body.
Knees to the body, elbows. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. After the cheese fight, I'm not a fan of elbows as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because that fight got stopped because of the blood. Because my the chunk of my lip got split off. Still see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
I got split off, and it was just like.
I'll solo you. Go ahead.
Let's
Show.
see, let's
That
see,
hole got split up.
Well, I'm sorry. Right. This one, yeah, it got split up there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
missing like a chunk.
That's rough.
I just got the scars. It's pretty now.
Yeah.
6 scars.
Samke, I'm glad you like that fight because you're reffing it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I've been talking to Shinny. We're going to get a rules list so that we can get to Samke. Daniel, what happened in that fight? Which fight? The fight he was talking about with the elbow, maybe.
Oh, we were in the clinch. It was a thing where, again, it's one of the things where people have a lot of different definitions for kickboxing, and again, at the time, the old K1 kickboxing, knees were cool. They used to sweep and do leg catches, but there were no elbows. That's just how it was then. Cheese threw an elbow, and I kind of was like, "Whoa, we're throwing elbows!" And then everybody was like, "I thought elbows, we're fighting kickboxing." I'm like, "No, that's Muay Thai." But
Yeah, they're not.
at that point in time, there was like so much built around the fight behind the scenes that I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was whatever. And then I believe I was in a clinch in like round 3. And he threw an elbow. I didn't even feel it. Like I didn't feel it at all. But Face stopped and goes, "Whoa, like we got to get this cleaned up." And I'm like, "What do you mean we got this cleaned up?
Your
I'm
whole
fine."
ass lip,
And
lip hanging over the nipple.
they showed me the picture. He was like, "Say ah." I looked at. I was like, "Oh." So that happened, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Got the stitches done, which I got the stitches NBA, which was crazy. And I was that really.
Okay, so
Put my lip back together.
Just a miscommunication on the rule set that does happen sometimes.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I know West Coast right now. We're looking at getting some clarification on quite a few of those down on paper, so that we don't have that problem anymore. Yep.
Good idea.
Yeah. So you're coming out here in March. That is super cool. By the way, if you know anybody else that wants to come, you let me know. Hit up the homies. Let them know they more than happy to have anybody else come out and compete. I'll find them a matchup.
Absolutely.
Yep. And so let's talk about the OG invasion when we invaded you guys. Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was, wasn't it? It was
magical.
Yeah, and we have a lot of history as far as just that event goes. You know what I mean? 925, Rip 925, RIP. That he was there, and then all of a sudden he's gone, and that's the biggest event that we had with him. You know what I mean? So it's a very special event for so many reasons. But walk us through that event on your end and how you went through that event.
I tried to get Shinigami the first time at the invasion, honestly, but then he got matched with striking back, and I'm just like, I kind of felt like that was like my one chance to like have my shot at Shinny. Because again, mind you, I don't feel like I'm like an important figure within like the community of Street Beats. I don't think I'm like this character per se.
Yeah.
So when Sunshine approached me and said, "Hey, would you want to fight Streetbender?" I was like, absolutely. Like, number one, thank you for thinking of me, and two, hell yeah, because like I've seen Streetbender since the first 2 Shinny fights, and watched them start to like climb the boxing ranks. So I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, sure. And then after I said that, I was like, damn, he's got a lot of grit, huh? I'm gonna deal with that. Actually,
he's tough, man. He's really tough. Just even
so
off
tough.
the couch, he's tough. Yeah, and I'm gonna clear something up for you real quick. You are definitely a figure in Street Peeps, like for sure. Like there's not a lot of people who don't know you out here. Absolutely, like you're a staple of the East Coast.
Very honored. That is so taken aback. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, my man. What was your favorite match from the invasion? We'll answer a couple questions, and then we'll jump back into your matchup with Streetbender again.
I gotta say, honestly, my favorite was probably like Free Smoke versus
Viking.
KT, Viking.
Or KJ, I think he was going by
KJ. That at the time that was because like it just set the tone. So like besides the ring fight, I felt that was another big fight that just set the tone. Like, yo, these West Coast guys are kind of built a little different. Hold up now. Because you guys started with some heat, and I'm like, they're kind of racking W's, and like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
kind of made us a little nervous.
Yeah, you did see like one of my favorite situations in that whole event was the energy exchange. Like sometimes you guys had the energy, sometimes we had the energy, but in the end, like by the time the end happened, all of us kind of had the same energy. I remember walking up, and everybody was kind of like they're mean mugging us a little bit. You know what I mean? And you were just like, "What's going on?" So yeah, it was really cool though. Was there one that did we cover that already? Didn't we cover that? Did we? I can't remember. What? Sorry, I quit doing drugs.
Which match? Oh, surprised me the most.
Yeah. Okay, we didn't.
Definitely, probably would have to say El Coyote versus Wolverine.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I was like, oh. Like, holy shit, wait, these guys can strike. Oh, wait a minute. Because, I mean, you don't want to write people off and everything, but I was the guy doing a little research, like, who are some of these guys, and
Hmm.
seeing a little bit of footage you guys had at that time. I was like, okay, I think Wolverine be fine. Just like you doing your mental pace, like, okay, this guy should be fine, this guy should be fine, this guy might have some trouble, but then you're just like, no. But like right out the gate, just that boxing match, I'm like, yo, this is how we're starting?
Yeah. Yep. Did you expect Venom Black to beat the absolute shit out of 619 like he did? Did you expect that?
No. Absolutely. Like, I was very confident that he was going to be able to get the W, but I'm just like, yo, it was. I thought it would be a lot more back and forth,
Yeah.
but like, it got very, very ignorant very fast.
It did. It did. It absolutely did. I think, yeah, it was a good time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, 619 and I had an absolute blast going out there, but we definitely we got tuned up a little bit.
Crazy times.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, Diesel and Zaytoven had an awesome scrap. So let's jump back into you and Streetbender. When you were first asked, "Hey, you fight Streetbender," how did that? Were you immediately like, "I'll fight anybody who wants it," or did you go, "Let me look him up a little bit. Let me find out who he is."
Nope, I took him right on the spot. I was like, absolutely,
Right on the
sure,
spot. That's awesome.
right on the spot.
That's dope. Yeah.
I, I'm like, if I have to look you up to see if I can beat you, I shouldn't be taking the fight at all. Then it's just, yes, but I say yes. I'll do the look up later.
Yeah. That's mad respect for that right there. Yeah.
But I'm
'Cause, I
like,
mean,
if I'm
yeah.
taking easy fights, what's the point? Like I just defeats the purpose of like fighting. If I'm gonna go, nah, I want that. I want to fight that like 0-5 guy back there. What's the point?
Yeah, I do look people up, but more for style, like what their style is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Good
the first
stylistic
thing. I
matchup.
want to know. Yeah, I want to know what kind of style they have. Okay, so yeah, you're coming out here in March. You've been doing your thing. Um, what's next for you as far as street beefs on that East Coast is concerned? Like, I know you said you're teaching a lot. Are you headed that direction to compete again? Are you shooting for any belts? What do you got?
I think after the Shinny fight, I think that might be my swan song, like to kind of end on a good note, like getting that last fight I've always wanted,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
and it maybe going to the scrapyard once just to be like, hey, like I visited, the big three at the time.
yeah.
But outside of going to the scrapyard, I can't see. I Shinny would probably be my last fight.
If there's a doubt, if there's just that little bit of you that wants to go to the scrapyard, I highly suggest you do it. Firecheck has got he's got a great setup up there.
It looks so nice.
Everybody's super cool. The environment's real nice. I mean, you're fighting in the trees and the woods and shit. It's really really neat. It's cold as fuck, but it's really neat. Yeah. Oh god, dude, it was like 30 degrees when I fought up there. Nah, I'll
Oh
never do
God.
that shit again. Nope. Yeah, and I mean,
Huh.
I think solo peeping too. You guys in a kickboxing match would be just some of the most fun we could ever see. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Dope. Like I said, I would absolutely. Wait, I've got a question too. I can't wait. Who we got?
Yeah, yeah. Daniel says he's not gonna lie. I was surprised by your fight. I didn't think you were going to stifle Streetbender's boxing game the way you did. It was a great game plan. Yeah, we were very surprised you went boxing.
Well, again, it was one of those things where it's like I never boxed it. Like I never traditionally boxed a day in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was a challenge to me to go. All right, I want to try something different. Why not? The worst that could happen is what I lose.
Yeah.
So I think the only actual boxing training I got, I went out to train with Fairplay twice.
Mm-hmm.
Fairplay is such a great guy. He's such a great guy.
He's so cool, man. I fanboy out over that dude all the time. Like, I'm a super huge fan of Fair Play.
So nuts. I trained with Fairplay, Ricardo, and Mammoth. I trained with those two guys. We just like did after the getting warmed up. We just did so many
Yeah.
sparring rounds, like just so I could try to understand how I need to change how I stand, how I throw things. And I'm just like, we came to the conclusion at the end of the day that I am a bad boxer, and I'm like, so the plan was to not box him, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
So I
But I
just
mean,
did my best to kind of keep him
yeah,
closed off against the cage and just start trying to work.
it was working. It was working. It was a solid game plan. What are you doing right now for training for the Shinigami match? How are you preparing for that?
Oh, yeah. Now, again, due to the popularity of my time entry, there's a lot of places that say, "Hey, you want to come through and train? It's on us. Don't worry about it." So I've been training a couple of main gyms now, just popping in here and there. Uh,
Hmm.
there's I've been to a boxing gym, a Muay Thai gym. Like I'm just absolutely out of mind sparring in March, but I've just been going all over, just learning as much as I can from different people. And I'm actually doing I believe it's in January. I got a seminar. I'm doing a striking seminar with Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse. Then I got
That's
another
cool.
one in
Like
February with
with
Rotang.
with him,
No,
or is he?
he's hosting. He's hosting
He's
one.
doing okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's hosting.
I was like,
Oh,
holy
listen, man.
shit!
I
That
wish.
is
I wish. I wish.
I had lost my
I
goddamn
wish.
shit right here,
I wish.
bro. That'd have been nuts. Samke said when you're out here in March, he would like to spar a little kickboxing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of guys. He said if you're not too damaged by Shinny.
Ah, she's fine.
Yeah, yeah. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Let's see here. Who is the favorite between you and Shinigami?
These are the questions.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is
Who?
my question. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's me for this.
Yeah. Who is the favorite between
Oh,
you and Shinigami? Like, just how you feel about that. Who do you think is the favorite?
I think people might, or I think people are gonna favor me for the fight. Just the fact that I do eliminate a large part of his ground game, which is a big part of his arsenal. From especially when I seen a lot of his fights, that's a big part of his ground game. It's like he drags you to the clinch to take you down, and he's gonna work on you on the ground.
Yeah. And he
So
tried to do some type of
I'm
armbar. I don't know what it's called,
yeah
but the one where you go like that. Yeah, that's he loves that shit.
going for the
Is
Americana. So
Americana?
like
Yeah,
yeah
Americana.
Americana.
Okay. Yeah.
So considering there are no subs, it's just like it's all striking. It was very strike heavy. I feel like I'm more the favorite for that because he has to get in my range to grab me,
Yeah.
and the way he presses forward to get people is not something that would really. I don't want to say not work, but just the way I know how to maintain distance because of Taekwondo, I know how to respond.
Gotcha. Okay. So he's definitely not going to be able to just rush you. Okay.
No,
Makes sense. Yeah. Um, I know we know Shinigami's going to wear his red gi. Are you going to have your black gi in? You going to have a black gi?
I will in fact have a black gi.
Okay. That's what I thought because that would be super fucking cool. Yeah. Like
Doing it.
a black and a red gi. I just think it's neat. I'm so stoked for this fight. I think you guys are going to be super awesome. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun to watch. And I have so I had medals made, the hot box medals made, and so for the heat index, that's the winner of the heat index tournaments get those. But also there will be a performance of the day that at the March event that'll get one of those medals. So
Now I gotta show out. Now I gotta
now you
start
got to
stretching
show
these
up.
old man
Yep,
hips.
yep. You might get to hang another medal on that wall.
Gotta start doing some cool stuff again.
Yeah. That'd be dope. So, yeah. There was a lot of questions that come through that we didn't 100% get a chance to answer.
What do we got?
Yep. They came through in the back. Oh, you know what? Somebody asked who you think would win between you and Brickhouse.
Brickhouse. He's a scrapyard.
Yeah, he's a scrapyard. I think he's scrapyard champion right now.
Scrapyard
I think he beat.
He fought Terrifier, right?
Terrifier. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few months ago. Yeah.
Right. I think I'll be able to plot a plan to win.
Hmm.
He is very effective in a certain range. If I can maintain the distance and wear him down, I think I could win.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like you've been keeping an eye on a lot of these guys that might potentially be competition for you one day.
I watch Street Beefs. I love fighting and I love these guys. I show love to all the branches. I try to be in the comments like, hey man, love the scrapyard. I love the West Coast because I just give out the energy, man. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Then I highly suggest you go up to Scrapyard, complete it, complete the
Complete the
trifecta right
trio.
there. Yep, and if you can get out the Dirty South, they put on a good show too. It was hot as fuck, bro. It was like 140
Ooh,
degrees.
Texas heat.
Cats was dying, like literally damn near dying out there. But they put on a good show as well. Yeah, absolutely. Cody does it up. Nasty Native. So, yeah. Anybody have any more questions? I know there was quite a few questions I went through. I may have missed a couple, but let's do quick questions if anybody has anything for Ryu Sennin. Where did you get the name from? Where's that name come from?
That is actually it roughly it just translates to Dragon Sage.
Dragon Sage?
Dragon Sage, yep. So the dragon being the dragon's always been my animal. I've always like messed with that mythology of things. So I was big in the dragon, and the sage
Okay.
just I reached a point in my life where I was just like I felt like I got it. Like you're not a kid anymore. You like kind of get that mindset of like I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing. I've been enlightened, if you will. So I like to have that wisdom of the sage, and I just put them together, and I was like, yo, Ryu Sennin, I can work with that.
Yeah, I like it. It's a cool name. It's a cool name.
He swap with
Um,
shit.
yeah,
You
like
know
that.
that
That's a fucking idea.
that actually a good idea.
Yeah, I fuck with Shinny almost every day. I'm gonna put it to him. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me
See what he
know.
says. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
Daniel, are you talking about gi swap before the fight or after the fight? They can give each other's dirty, sweaty gis at the end of the night. Yeah, because we know Shinny gonna strap on the parachute metal strapping pants with all the bells and whistles and shit after the fight.
If I have to pee, what does he do? Like, if we got to really go, it's like a lot to, finagle it down there.
Are you gonna head kick Shinny?
Yes.
Bro, that's a million views right there. You head kicked the dude who went famous for head kicking a dude. And it's funny because everybody tries. Like you watch his fights now. A lot of people try, but also they're very, very aware of his head kick. I haven't really seen him land many head kicks, if at all. I can't think of any he's truly landed since that first one. When people expect it now. They know it's coming.
Because now they expect it's coming, and now he throws it a lot later and throws me he's a lot more tired.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
I, Taekwondo, like, that was a big part of what we do is just straight kicks. I kick when I have energy, I kick when I'm tired. I'm used to the fatigue of trying to kick while tired.
Triple X. So this kickboxing fight with Shinigami. Yeah, it's a modified kind of karate combat rules. Run us through it
Yeah.
one more time, Ryu.
So, your standard kickboxing rule set, you got, leg kicks are cool, clinching's cool, knees to the body are cool. Elbows, sweeps and throws are legal. You're on the ground. Somebody can do ground and pound for between 5 to 10 seconds. You get stood up.
So like 2 strikes, 2, 3 strikes.
Yeah,
Something
good.
like
Couple
that, and then
couple
stand 'em
good
up.
shots in here. Stand 'em up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So is there going to be? Can you TKO somebody on the ground with strikes?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay. I'm go after this. I'm going to get I'm gonna do a group chat with you and Shinny,
yeah,
and get
good
you
idea.
guys to just nail down these rules
Genius
for me.
idea.
So
Genius
I can get
idea.
him to Samke. He's most likely going to ref that match. Very most likely. However, depending on how many matches we have that day, it might be somebody else, like maybe Wade if Wade comes down.
I
'Cause
hope Wade
he's.
comes down.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm trying to get him a matchup right now. We're talking
Ooh.
to what's that? Forever Young, I think it is. And I talked to Sunshine about him. She said she was going to reach out, so we're talking to Forever Young to see if he'll come down and throw down with Wade. I haven't heard
I'll look him
anything
up.
yet.
Come on.
Okay. Yeah. He just had a fight a few
We
months
have
back.
so many guys come through the OGR. It's so hard to keep track, I swear.
Dude, yeah,
So
yeah.
hard.
It really is. I think it's a little. I don't know. I think it's a little easier for us to keep track on the West Coast because of the after parties. Like we have big after parties. I mean, after my last Vegas fight. I mean, we had a suite with like 80 of us in there, and you could barely see anybody because of the weed smoke. But everybody was in there and was all partying, drinking, and hanging out and shit.
I love this. I love that camaraderie.
Oh, bro, get used to it. You gonna be balls deep in it coming March, man. Because I don't know where we're doing an after party at yet, but we're absolutely gonna have one. Like, it's not a
He said
thing.
it's not up for debate.
Yeah, it's not up for debate. It goes down. Like, worst case scenario, we'll just do a fire in my backyard, and I'll do it up back here. But I think there's a couple guys talking about the Airbnbs that they're gonna get. So we might grab one of those and go party over there. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Since Shenny shouts out his woman, you should shout out yours as a response.
Oof. See, if I had a woman, I would do that, but I don't have one of those, so I'm kind of asked out right now.
No, you're not. Shout out several of them.
You know what?
Just shout out all of them right now.
Nice.
Because as a single dude, with a mouthpiece, I know you got a rotation. So shout them all out, bro. Shout out the whole rotation.
Shout out everybody, the whole starting five.
Hell yeah. Can we get links for these two fighters' latest fights?
My last fight was with Cheese, and that fight was bad.
That was the elbow fight. You took the elbow.
Yeah, like you would literally learn nothing about me from watching that fight, which is bad.
Yeah, if you just go to YouTube and you just type in Ryu Sennin, which is his name is right up here, right here. Ryu Sennin, right there in the front. And Street Beefs, all of his fights will pop up. You can just check to see which one is the recent one. But I was just watching all of them. It's very, very entertaining. Same thing with Shinigami. Just go to YouTube, type in Shinigami and Street Beefs, and you'll have a ton of stuff pop up for him. He's a very, very popular fighter.
I do agree. Shinigami's on a tear right now. He's on a tear right now.
On a tear?
Yeah, people. Yeah, they were saying like he's coming. His comeback after the nerd rage and those fights. Like he's doing a real good tear and he's on a good comeback. He's doing good.
I have never heard that phrase before.
Listen.
Yeah.
EMC TV said it.
Yeah. That's Diesel. He really is, man. So after this is not news to Shinny, but when he signed up to fight 2-Ton Tony in Florida, all of us were like, bro, you just got starched by like 3 people. Like, why are you flying all the way out there to fight? You know what I mean? A dude who was their champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we were a little nervous for him. Like, that's maybe not the best matchup. And he stuck to his guns. He basically was like, hey, you'll see. And then he went out there and he did his thing. Like,
that was actually a really good fight. Like I watched that.
Very good fight, man. I was so impressed with Shenny during that fight. And so he came out, he did his thing, and then he starts taking more fights and he starts winning more fights. And it was just watching him, like he said, be on a tear right now. He's just tearing through all the competition. He's very impressive the last several months, you know?
Oh, my man. Beast in here? Oh, what's up, Beast?
Oh, he's your man now, huh?
Oh, yeah, listen, man. Listen.
Nah, I'm just playing.
You can't beat him, befriend him.
Let's see here. This is a question right here. Nope. There it is. Who's your favorite Street Beast West Coast fighter? And just know that no matter who you say, somebody gonna get their feelings hurt.
I know.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
No, they're gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me because she might have to be a tie actually because like I'm stuck on it, and it's funny because they're boys too. But Free Smoke and Battleborn.
Yeah. Okay.
I love watching them. They never have boring fights.
No, they do not.
I'm so always invested.
Yeah, they're prolific. They have solid IQs. Yeah, absolutely. And they're
Something about watching Battleborn just tear through dudes. Oh,
he's an animal. He really is. He's an animal. Let's see here. Mine's nasty native. His hands touch chins. Short. Yeah, he absolutely does.
Yes, he does.
Yep. Beast in here. What's up, Beast? Yeah, Beast on the list too. I haven't contacted him yet, but he's absolutely on the list for this podcast.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Beast he's a very well spoken, such a great guy.
Yeah. Who's your favorite overall fighter? Like just fighter in general. Who do you look up to and goes, that dude's nasty?
Fair play.
Fair play, bro. I gotta agree with you.
Fair play. I guess it's fair play.
Oh, He's like a uh, like a video game character. You know what I mean? Like you can watch him fight and just pretend you're hitting buttons and doing cool shit. Like you really can. When I saw him fight at the OG Invasion, I lost my goddamn mind. He opened up with like a 360 tornado kick,
Yep, that was
rained punches down, and that was a fucking wrap.
I'll never forget. I just hear fair play. Stop the fight. I'll break it. I'll break his arm. I'm like, yo, please tap. Please tap. I was like, please tap.
Yeah, that's nuts, bro. That's nuts. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely gain respect, man. Shinny doing his thing right now. He really is. Have you ever pulled off a 540 kick in competition?
I am definitely still fat. Absolutely not. Like, I wouldn't even attempt to embarrass myself in such a manner. Can't pull off a 540 regularly.
Just standing, just
right?
yeah. Because if you're not jumping, it's just called a pirouette.
Yeah, I can do a 360, not a 540. 360, yes. 540, no.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hell of a. That's what 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
People act. I wish I was built that way.
Yeah, so I mean, some of these dudes, like I'm telling you, when I saw Fair Play do that shit, I was like, that's the top fighter here, because he did it with ease, and that was a beef match. That OG Invasion was a beef match. I'm like, how do you even have beef with Fair Play? He's like the nicest dude.
Everyone's question. They're just like, how, like, what?
Yeah.
He's just, yeah, it was ridiculous.
He's a nice dude. He's a cool dude. He's super chill. But, yeah. Ryu Sennin, I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for answering the call. Thanks for chopping it up with me. Again, you are one of the dopest fighters in all of Street Beef. You really are. From personality to however to how you compete, what you do, you're everything, man. It's super cool watching you do your thing. Yeah, Mook is cold too. Mook on a different level. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have just a bunch of cool fighters, man.
Yeah, we do. We really do. We are very, very lucky out here to have a lot of, honestly, a lot of very easily marketable fighters too. Like that's my big thing. I want to market fighters. I want everybody to be a fucking household name everywhere to the 100 people that watch this podcast. I want everybody to know, you know what I mean, who these guys are, and I love that shit. You got any final words for everybody, my man? Anything you want everybody to know?
Just man, I'm be hyped for the Shinigami fight, guys. Like I want to go on record by saying this, by the way. All of my fights up until now, all been just me with traditional stuff. I never cross train with any of that stuff. Everything past the cheese fight with all this time off, I've been going to different gyms, training with so many people. I just want to go out and show you guys the best version of Ryu Sennin that I can show you. You know, like I've accomplished everything I wanted to do with Street Beefs, became a champion, Wall of Fame. In first invasion, going to the second invasion. The only thing I'm missing is a highlight reel KO. So that's what I'm going for this Shinny fight. I want to just give you a spectacular fight and an awesome. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want to give the people.
My man, that's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. You gonna put Shinigami on a highlight reel, huh? I love it. Yeah. Well, hey, like I said, I'll group chat you guys in a little bit, get them details nailed down. And again, appreciate you being on the podcast, my man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good night, bro.
You as well. Drinks up.
All right, buddy. Later. Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you guys. We gonna get Fair Play locked back in to the podcast here soon, because we missed him last week. Sorry, my brain's tripping right now. Next week we have DTP coming up, and then after that we got Jay Gotham, Beach, a couple other people you guys are gonna know about. So we got a lot of people on schedule to be on. Like I said, Beast 916, quite a you guys are on the list, so I'll be in your DMs here soon, man. So you guys have a good night. I appreciate everybody, man. Yep, just gonna